Hi, today we will discuss about transportation topic. Transportation is impact to logistic and supply chain system. Okay, I'm a doctor engineer Siripong Jungtawan. And okay, you can see my profile here, and the topic is in the week 9 transportation. You can review and see the clip in the YouTube to understand the other topic. So the transportation help you to understand about how you deliver and transfer your item to your client and your customer. Okay, the transportation functional and the participant. So you can see the transportation functionality is a product movement. You try to move your item and then you send to keep in the warehousing or in the some place in the logistic and supply chain. In the supply chain members, you can see when you join the supply chain. So the transportation, you can use the public or the private mode to help you to transfer your item to your client or your customer. So when you connect to the consignee and then you try to prove your location, and then you use the carrier and agent to pick your item and then send you to your customer. You have to use the internet to communicate with your customer, carrier and agent, and also consigners. And also you have to check the regulation and law with your government, and that's why the transportation functionality and participant is joined in the C to this graphic. From regulation to free market system, you have to understand about ICC. It stands for Interstate Commerce Commission, or MC80. That stand for Motor Carrier Act of 1980s. And the other things that you have to know, Stacker Rail Act or Department of Transportation, you have to check the regulation and law and anything else that link to your transportation service. And CTPAT or WTO, World Trade Organization. And transportation model structure that compare to the other way start from rail, truck, water, pipeline, and air. The first system that you can see that we call rail. You use train to pick the item from the factory or the hub to send to your customer. So that you can see in here we call transportation model structure. This way is cheapest that you can compare to the other things, but you have to bring it a lot, big lot, to pick it in a container. The second model that you can use truck to pick the item and then send your item to your customer. This way used in Thai a lot because the road that link to your customer location, that you can use the truck to help you to transfer your item. And also the water, that you can use the boat to send your item to the other country. You can use the shipper and forwarder to help you to connect to carrier and the brand owner of the boat. And that's why the boat is use the water to help you to transfer your item. That's for long length of the location or destination. And pipeline that fit for liquid is like water and oil, and the gas that are LPG and NGV. The pipeline link the system that is the core system. So they fit for send the liquid and gas. And the last, you know that the system from air. The airplane help you to pick the item from the customer and your location from supplier or vendor, and then you pick it up and then send to your customer location. So that link to airport. You have to check the airport of your customer before use this method. So when you have a lot of many kind of transportation mode, you have to compare. So this idea that help you to compare the model's comparative characteristics and capabilities. So you can see in here the criteria for check and improve and compare to the other things, to the other modes. That's the start with speed, variable, abilities, dependabilities, capability, frequency, cost, and the other things. So you can see in here, and then you can compare many methods. It's like rail, truck, water, pipeline, and air. And then when you compare it, and you have to summarize the score. You can see in this that fit for the water 18 score to here. That's why you use score this to compare to the other things, the other models. And the specialized transportation service, you can see in here, you can see the package service, and you can see when you use the truck, and then they ask for package service, the other things to help you to add more value in your products. Or you can see in this same day that help you to send your product in the 1 day. Guarantee that you can send your product in the same day to your customer. It's more the fastest, the same days. And the next day deliveries that guarantee work days. And then second day delivery that guarantee 2 days from the start, that you have to plus 2 days to send the products or your finished good to your customer, or 3-day selection. Or you use the ground and worldwide express, or the standard that you can see in the table that help you to understand more about the vocabulary and technical term for transportation service. So in here you can see you have the other model that you can link to model that we call intermodal or multiple model that you can see in here. And then when you use the transportation model to connect from rail and boat, from rail and truck, that help you to manage logistic method and non-operation intermediary. It looks like freight forwarder, shipper association, and also the broker. So you have to compare the price and the cost, and also that we can call transportation economics. So economy of this distance, or the economy of weight, or economy of density, that you can see the cost and distance. You can see the graph, and then you try to manage the cost minimum for fit for your product and the transportation mode. You can see in here cost per pound, and also cost per pound, and the weight and density, and the other price factor. So you have to compare all of the price to be the total price for you to compare from a transportation mode. And the other price factor, you can see the handling, that help you to understand the cost for handle the product from your inventory in warehouse or in the truck, and that you have to combine to the other things. And liability and also market, that help you to understand the price and the cost. And the cost for freight, that variable or fixed or joint or common, you have to compare the cost for this also. That here you can see the transportation economics and pricing. The pricing for freight, the class rate or the flight classification or rate determination or cube rate or commodity rate and exception rate and the special rate and service. So you can see in here that you have to understand about the item and article and also the class that you have to see and try to understand the article and the detail for this. And transportation management that help you to understand operation management that link to the other things to the activity. For consolidation, you have to combine and use the area or queue load in the pickup or in the transporter that try to manage the cost and negotiation of things and compared to the logistic mode also that you can see in the control and audit and claim administration. So the transportation management that you have to monitor to operation management, the equipment schedule and yard management, and also the load. You try to manage the load for the truck, and then you know the routing and use advanced shipment notification that we call ASN. And the movement administration. You have to see the order consolidation, route optimization, carrier rate management, and EDI, electronic data interchange that link to the other carrier, and also you use internet to track that sometimes you call GPS. That you can see the GPS system that track the truck, the boat, or anything that link to the item that you can send to your customer and know the data for location and when your customer pick and receive your product. And identify most economically mode parcel less than truck or truckload that you have to know about this and pull your item and calculate best route that you can use the it's like a Google map that you try to compare the route, the speed, the cost and the consumption for fuel and carrier select based on cost and service including performance and yard management. So in here you have to know about consolidation. You have to see reactive consolidation and proactive consolidation. So in reactive consolidation, you have to understand about market area and schedule area delivery and pool delivery. They have to use the one truck to distribute a lot item and set the drop for your item, and that's why you have to manage the cost for the truck. In this way, you use this idea to consolidation and compare the cost. And sometimes you have to use the idea for pre-order planning forward in the weeks or in the month, and then you manage the truck, the vendor, and also the cost and the customer location. You can see in here and manage multiple vendor consolidation. And negotiation to obtain the lowest possible rate for the cost, and then you have to push the service well for them and control with the tracking system to locate your truck, your shipment, and the time that your customer receive your product. And expediting involve the shipper notification and carrier that it need to have a specific shipment that move through the carrier system as quickly as possible and with no delay. If you know everything, you can track and then you plan and you can communicate with your customer and your supply chain member. And the last but not least that you know this topic, auditing and claim administration. So you can see in here, you can see the percentage of loss and damage from the goods and the product, and sometimes you have to pay for overcharge and undercharge. The house of service do the 11 hours driving and 14 consecutive hours for duties, breaks count as on duty time, and 10 consecutive and uninterrupted hours of duties, and 16 and 70 hours in 7-8 days. driver must take a 34 hours of duty before restart and on duty period. That the limit for the time from your driver. And here you have to understand about documentation. You have to know bill of lading, the document utilizing in purchase transportation service, and freight bill, courier method of charging for transportation service performance. And the last shipment manifest list the individual short or consignee when multiple shipment and placed on a single vehicle. You have to see this document and try to understand the detail for this document that link to the other things and understand about transportation, the system, the cost, and the day that your customer receive the product. And in Incoterm that you have to know this, the product price and transportation and risks. And you have to see the mode for the cost from the factory or seller and send to your customer. You have to see the picture in that the seller and then the carrier pick the product and send to the shipment to the inland and upload to the boat and then send on the plane and then send to the destination for your customer port. And your customer pick it up to the truck and send to their warehouse and do a buyer pick it. So you can see the green and the blue, the risk for them. And then you transfer risk from the green to the blue one. That we call Incoterm. And then you have to see the standing, the FOB, EXW, CFI, CIF, CFR, and that's why we have to understand about Incoterm. That now we use the Incoterm in version 2020. And also when you decide the location for transportation, you have to know your customer and you use the plan and the warehouse to link to the track to the price and try to manage the inventory and transportation. So in here you can see the regulated pricing. You use the system from single zone or multiple zone or base point and the pick up allowance. You can see in this, if you know the cost for freight cost or and delivery price, you can link to the customer or the customer pay you 100 and then you use the plan A, you can pay for 25 bucks for freight cost, or you use plan B, you have to pay 25 cost, and plan C you have to pay 35. So in this idea, I use plan B to send the products to your customer. But you have to check the limit and capacity for plan B also. That's why you have to know this and then understand the hub and the link, understand about the customer location and the plan A, B, and C location. So in here you understand the transportation, the mode, the how you calculate the cost, the basic and criteria, and the location, and try to manage the operation for transportation. So that easy way to get the understand the idea for transportation, you have to check one challenges question. You use one question for your practice your idea and then scan QR code to check your name and then you answer the question. That's how easy for this class. That's the basic for transportation, and then see you next clip or next week. If you have any question, you can ask in the class or ask in the YouTube, and you send the comment in under the clip. Enjoy your class today. Thank you.